Welcome back, everybody. Today I'll be watching The Sopranos season 1 episode 7 already. And here we are, we're entering the second part of the first season, and I feel like they introduced that with a bang by showing us the police having this whole investigation going on about the Sopranos and the family and the bosses and all of that. And I'm like, whoa, not just that they're like aware that something is going on, they actually already have the pictures, have the names, have people in their space, right? Because that John guy took those pictures, so he's clearly allowed to witness a very private conversation. And that is just, wow. I feel like as a first introduction to law enforcement, that's big already. I feel like that's way quicker than I would think they would have introduced us to it. And I'm here for it. Other than that, I feel like we have other storylines going further, like with Dr. Malfi and his love for her, and Junior being a bit too intense, but then listening to some advice and maybe being navigated around this whole thing. So yeah, I feel like we're gonna find some interesting things, and I wonder if we're gonna see more of the police today and what they're up to, because I'm very curious what that's all about. I hope you enjoyed today's reaction. If you did, make sure to I'm so bad at this. If you will like this channel and this reaction, maybe like and subscribe. Commenting helps out a lot. So if you take a few seconds to leave your thoughts, that would mean a lot to me. I still read all the comments and I enjoy them a lot. So thank you for writing something. And if you want to see the full reaction, the edited versions, and that all ahead of YouTube, you can find those on Patreon for you to enjoy together with me. And some other exclusive movies and some polls for next reactions that you want me to do. So make sure to check that out. Let's go.
Stealing the sacramental wine? Are you gonna confess this? I'm gonna tell my soul something. Not what?
Ooh, in the eyes of Christ.
3 lines.
They're stealing wine and gonna be drunk at class.
2, 3, 4.
Are they drunk?
Return. Up.
I'm doing shit.
Oh, don't vomit.
What's going on here?
Whoa, everybody's watching.
I gotta go to the bathroom.
Is that alcohol on your breath?
Oh no.
Wow, and not just on the floor, actually on the teacher. Damn, that teacher deserves better. Rough day at the job.
How am I? I got dust up the crack of my ass and I'm starving to death. Guy's been ragging in my fucking ear all day. I'd like to kill the prick.
Get him the hell out of here.
Oh boy.
I have the money.
See if this gentleman here has paid up his union dues, and then pop one of these wheel covers. We'll check the brake pads.
I'll get right on it.
I'll get your money, okay?
Ooh.
They were drunk in gym class. Byron Barber vomited all over the teacher.
I spat it out.
She gonna lie to me now?
He's very sorry, Father Hagee, and he's gonna be even sorrier when he gets home.
Uh-oh. Are they gonna have a talk? Like, maybe he's not got a good example. Or you guys busy or stressed out?
At least let me pay for the wine.
This is an affront to our holy sacristy.
Ooh, yeah.
Hi. In many respects, Anthony is a normal, healthy 8th grader. His art teacher thinks he shows strong skills and spatial orientation.
Okay.
Anthony sometimes has trouble following the rules. At times doesn't think before he acts.
Well, the genetics seems clearly right.
Anthony could be ADD.
All he needs is a whack upside the head.
You'd hit somebody who's sick? You'd hit somebody with polio?
Damn, if you're those two, it's like, okay.
You hit Anthony?
Nobody gets hit in our house. Not exactly my idea. I don't know what the world's coming to if you can't do a little tarantella on the kids every once in a while when they step out of line.
Okay, Tony, shh.
Let me ask you a question. These other kids, you keeping an eye on them? The ones that are named Soprano?
Ooh.
And so what do we, as the parents, do?
Anthony's misbehaved. He should be consequenced.
He cannot wait.
I bet that gym teacher shit a brick when your little friend puked on his boots, huh, Anthony?
Want to encourage him, Uncle Joe?
Yeah, what are these consequences?
Oh, his father was the same way. I practically lived in that vice principal's office.
Probably not.
Well, I must have had another son who stole a car when he was 10 years old.
Oh my god, Grandma.
He was a hellion, this one. Him and his little crew. They used to steal...
Oh, look at his eyes. He's so like, yes.
How many times do I gotta say this? I don't want that kind of talk in front of this kid. That stuff is wrong, and I don't condone it.
Yeah, sure.
Who do you think you're yelling at?
What? What did you just say?
I didn't say anything.
Ooh.
I thought this could wait till after dinner. Your father and I have talked. You are not to play Mario Kart or go skateboarding for 3 weeks.
No.
And you are not going to sit on that internet either. And every day, you're going to ride your...
What? How quickly is he to cry?
It's not fair.
And I'm so glad I don't need to do those things yet. Like, how do you decide what is a decent punishment and what isn't? But yeah, that conversation at the table was so misplaced.
You think he knows?
I don't know. She knows.
Well, he knows that she knows.
What makes you say that?
Are you in the mafia?
She talked to you?
Talk to me?
Poor mom.
Something happened on that college trip?
Happened. Like what?
I don't know. She seemed peculiar when she got back.
Mom notices things. I'm very impressed. What the kids saying, what the kids are doing, how they're acting. She's seen... Is that all?
Maybe I don't want to admit there's something wrong with my kid, but this all sounds like bullshit to me. If he's got a disease, why'd they tell me to punish him?
ADD is a controversial subject.
Interesting that that's such a new thing in that year, while now it's way more common and people know more about it.
He got in a little trouble.
So you don't consider his behavior out of the norm?
No.
Do you see his behavior as a reflection of your own?
We'll deal with it. If he had polio, we'd deal with it.
Constantly the polio.
You pick up the pieces and you go on from there. So that's what we're gonna do.
Aww. He finds it hard than he admits.
Well, last time you were telling me that you had intimate feelings for me.
Oh man, she doesn't shy away from it.
Intimate feelings? I think I said I was in love.
Her lip color makes me sad, even though it's perfectly matched to her outfit.
Well, I already got a girlfriend. She's Russian. 24.
And how she's able to keep a straight face, I don't know.
How old are you?
I find it interesting that it took you so long to tell me that you had a girlfriend.
How are you doing with it?
Okay.
Look, I gotta ask you one more question about my son. You think I should go easy on him now or press him a little harder?
Well, that's difficult to say.
Are you gonna raise? Maybe? Figure this out?
I like that he's so bothered by it. He's not just like, Carm, you fix this. I got work to do. No, he actually wants to know how to parent well.
Get up, have some breakfast. I don't want it, I'm not hungry. Anthony, Junior, turn off that music. Your father is sleeping. Who said I couldn't watch TV or play Nintendo? What?
Poor Carm. He didn't study once how many times the word mom is being said in a household, and it's a scary high number. Mom, mommy, mom, I need it, mom. Like, I love my boy's age now. He cannot speak yet or say no.
Why aren't you on your way to school? You missed your bus. You want to walk to the colored neighborhood. Junior.
Seeing a young Livia is so interesting. Oh, are we gonna see him steal a car? Wow, and the music makes it so light-hearted, but if you think about it, this is how he was raised. This is what he saw when he grew up. That's horrible. Wow, great example setting.
You're up.
No fucking sleep with all this shit going on.
Okay. Imagine having her morning and then he wakes up like that.
I mean, he used to whack us kids around a little bit. Yeah, the belt was his favorite child development tool.
Isn't that interesting?
What did he do for a living?
Retail meat and provisions. And little numbers. Extortion, loan sharking.
How did you feel about that?
I never really knew about it.
When did you find out?
Who remembers?
This is so interesting.
Don't start talking to me about legitimate business. What about chemical companies? Dumping all that shit into the rivers and they get all these deformed babies popping up all over the place.
Okay. Deflecting a little bit, are we?
Has he asked you?
No.
How are you going to handle that?
I don't know.
Did you ever talk to your father about it?
What, are you kidding?
Oh boy. This is so interesting because we've seen the whole development with AJ and him discovering. And then now we basically see what it does to a grown-up. Once that has happened to you when you were a kid, and now how you still need to navigate it the other way around.
Well, Meadow is one thing, but this is my son.
Boys are different from girls.
Wait, why did he care less about Meadow knowing?
They ever ask you about this thing, Oz?
I lied through my teeth, but they knew.
That's what kids do, though.
It's hard to raise kids in an information age, you know, to protect them.
Who's got an anniversary or a special occasion? Ooh. Yeah, I was picking up the Chinaman's Vig, and the Fed fucking X-van was wide open. Guy went in for a burger or some shit.
Was it a bait?
It's interstate commerce, you fucking Mama Luke. You want to spend 8 years in prison for a stupid stunt like that? You be my guest.
Now we've seen the police, knowing about them, I'm way more like, you guys got to be careful.
And what do you think is going on in this one, Anthony?
There's no guy.
Good. Where do you think he is?
Maybe he's watching South Park. Number 1 was supposed to be on tonight. The one where Cartman gets abducted by aliens.
So what was that about attention deficit?
Approximately 50% of children diagnosed with ADD receive help from special education teachers in this school.
Come on, we don't even know that's what he's got.
You're right. Let's just be ignorant. Why worry about anything now?
You blame me, don't you?
Blame myself.
For staying with me?
I have 2 eyes.
This is hard. She sees him doing stuff and now like the boy is on the same track.
Like father, like son, right? What about daddy's little girl? What about you? You and your Uncle Lenny, that old bots. My son's got that in his gene pool.
Hey, can we stop blaming each other?
If it helps you.
Damn, she was just trying to inform herself. That escalated a bit.
Pearl, meet my grandson.
How come he's not in school?
Because he was a bad boy.
Ow.
He loves being there. You can just see it on his face.
She had a stroke. Now half the brain is gone. They sent you to a psychiatrist? That's crazy. That's all nonsense. That's nothing but a racket for the Jews.
Grandma!
Dad goes.
He does not.
Yes, he does.
No, that was one of his fears, that people would figure that out.
He does not.
He does too.
Oh, and she's gonna tell Junior and everybody's gonna know.
I heard him and Mom talking about it.
What does he need a psychiatrist for? He goes to talk about his mother.
Oh, God.
That's what he's doing. He talks about me. He complains. She didn't do this. She did that. Oh, I gave my life to my children on a silver platter. And this is how he repays me.
I have to admit that being a mom now, it scares me too, that I'm like, oh no, what can I do wrong? That when he's like 30 years old, he's like, yeah, I'm bad at this or have troubles with this because my mom always used to do XYZ wrong. Hello, it is May and I'm here with a whole new Patreon talk. So this month on Patreon exclusives, you can find The Wire Season 2 and I'm going to be starting The Wire Season 3. So a whole bunch of The Wire is available on Patreon already. Movie-wise, I'm just posting a poll on Patreon and it seems like Jackie Brown and Field of Dreams are winning. So those 2 movies will be coming to Patreon exclusively. And then I think I'm going to post a 3rd one, but right now I cannot predict the votes yet. Boogie Nights is doing really well. Matrix Revolutions is doing really well. Out of Sight is doing really well. So it's still, I feel like the 3rd place is still yet to be decided, but 3 movies exclusively on Patreon as well this month. Other than that, you can find a lot of the things that you can find on YouTube earlier on Patreon. So for example, if you love watching Sopranos and Stranger Things, everything on there is 2 weeks ahead of here. Not just the full length, but also the edited versions. So if you don't have time to watch the full length reactions, no worries, you can watch Stranger Things and The Sopranos 2 weeks ahead, the edited versions on Patreon as well. Thank you for understanding that I promote Patreon. I get that some people don't like it, but I feel like most of you guys understand that I need it to keep the channel going, to work with editors, and that YouTube is making it really hard for reactors right now to make videos, because I know that I'm not the only one. I see everybody tweeting out there, making community posts that almost all the videos are getting blocked, are getting claimed. We need to re-edit it 3 million times. It's a lot harder lately to put out videos for you guys, but we keep on moving forward, and in that sense Patreon helps me out a lot because I can work with editors that help me out with that struggle. So thank you for considering joining Patreon, and let's go back to the movie.
Hey, with the psychologist, how'd that go?
He made me look at these like pictures and stuff, and then I had to say something about them.
What'd you talk about? Anything interesting?
Let's get him between me and my therapist.
Woo, boundaries, Dad.
That's what we pay extra for at that school? The other night at dinner, you made a remark.
Some kids at school said some stuff. That you were in the mafia.
Damn, straight up.
There were all those guys at Uncle Jackie's funeral, and those other guys writing down license plate numbers and taking pictures. Those were feds, right? Just like in Godfather 1.
Uncle Jackie's funeral.
He didn't react to them like writing down license plates.
You didn't see me on that web thing, did you? Just give me a hand with this thing so we can get the algae scraped off your teeth.
So he kinda knows, not fully.
But what about Pussy? He's an acquaintance of mine.
She's like...
Do you hold your father responsible for what you've become?
Yeah, sometimes I think about what life would have been like if my father hadn't gotten mixed up in the things he got mixed up in.
It's fair.
You had this dream about those ducks. They flew away with your penis. It was
We remember.
It's important to remember. He who doesn't understand history is doomed to repeat it.
Ooh, that's a big one.
Let's talk about your father.
Heads up!
Pay some attention, kid. Wait.
Why are you smiling?
Just thinking about my uncle.
Yeah, she asked about his father, and he remembers a good memory from his uncle.
And my sister came out.
How does she feel about your parents?
Who gives a fuck what she thinks? She calls herself Vishna Mato. Soprano isn't good enough.
Oh.
Why were you thinking of your uncle?
I don't know.
Was he like his father figure?
What are you doing? I'm getting in the car. Why? Where are you going? Someplace.
How sick is that car?
I want to go with you guys. He said no.
Ooh. This is so interesting. He thinks about June. He goes away with his daughter.
Then why can't I have this?
I don't want to hear about that stupid electric organ anymore. He won't give me a moment's peace.
If Janice wanted it, she'd get it. Janice always gets everything she wants.
The golden child.
You're driving me crazy!
No, I'm not.
She said what?
Wow.
I could stick this fork in your eye.
She wasn't gonna do it. Holy shit, that's why I'm remembering all this.
The toll now stands at 11 dead and 600 wounded. Looting and sniper fire along Springfield.
Wait, what happened there? He just wants to go along. That's so sad.
Maybe on the way home, honey.
This is painful to watch. Their really great relationship and him just want to be a part of it. No way! I'm like trying to think of reasons, like maybe he was doing business there and he can take her, but like it's not really a family thing for him. But it seems like it's... Oh, it is business. Right when I was saying like maybe not. So she can F off and it's business time.
I still remember that feeling in the pit of my stomach. I took the bus this time. It was 3 transfers from Newark. I had this candy bar in my pocket. It had sand or lint or something on it.
Crazy how we sometimes remember certain things.
Shoot!
No way that he saw all of this.
It's okay, baby. It's okay, honey.
Wow, this is traumatizing for so many kids involved. The clown. Okay.
That's Johnny Boy Soprano. Hey, get the fuck in there.
The clown, like.
Your father may not be home for dinner tonight. Go wash up.
What's up with the plastic on the sofa?
I saw him getting arrested. What did he do?
They didn't do anything. They just pick on the Italians.
I knew my father was no freedom fighter.
So he went to jail?
No, he came home in a couple hours. We were watching Ed Sullivan.
And acted like nothing happened.
Those stupid cops arrested the wrong guys.
Remember that quote from a few episodes ago about being having the 2 faces?
Show those fucking sons of bitches. What's up, Rocco?
I don't understand. The man your father beat up was the same one who was congratulating him?
Yeah, one of them.
What?
He'd been in prison.
Yeah, he was away when I was a little kid, but they told me he was in Montana being a cowboy.
I don't even know what to say. This is so sad.
My son is doomed, right?
Why do you say that?
Because he was doomed.
This is the part when I'm supposed to tell you how terrible my father was and the terrible things he did to me. But I'll tell you something. I was proud to be Johnny Soprano's kid.
Do you think that's how your son feels about you?
I'm glad if he's proud of me. But that's the bind I'm in, because I don't want him to be like me. He could be anything he wants to be. He could be like this guy I knew in high school. His grandfather invented these little ties that go in the end of salamis. He made millions of dollars.
Have you communicated any of this to your son?
Not in so many words.
I feel like communication is not their best skill.
And what difference would it make? You said so yourself. It's hereditary.
You think that everything that happens is preordained? You don't think that human beings possess free will?
Oh, this is deep.
You're born to this shit. You are what you are.
Nature, nurture.
So, Livia, what do you think?
Oh, I feel like we're gonna see a heartbreaking scene.
Fucking albacore around my neck every time I try to do something. Me and the kids will go without you.
They are not going anywhere. I'd rather smother them with a pillow than take them to Nevada.
Always with the drama.
Is that exactly what he's been saying to Carm as well?
Livia, here you are.
Oh. It gives you a different show of Livia, right? Like what she's been through as well. But also like quite a quote.
You shouldn't be so hard on. He's got a lot to learn, granted, but he's headed in the right direction.
Where to? Overbrook State Mental Hospital?
This your own child.
Hey, Uncle Joe, how you doing?
He's gonna figure this out so soon. Oh, I'm nervous.
He's so full of himself since becoming cop of regime. It makes me sick.
He's always so happy and glowy.
You remember the Alatorres, Ma?
Oh, why wouldn't I? You know, they moved to Nevada. They're billionaires now.
Oh, what?
Didn't Dad want to go with him?
No.
Alator was gonna start a business. Dad was gonna do a little thing with him.
What is this?
Is he blaming her?
Dad wanted to go with him. You wouldn't let him. Maybe this was his chance to get out.
Oh.
Mr. Sensitive now. Well, if it bothers you, maybe you better talk to a psychiatrist.
Oh, the tension.
What are you talking about, a psychiatrist?
Well, that's what people do when they're looking for somebody to blame for their life, isn't it?
You threaten to smother his children. You know, everybody thought Dad was the ruthless one, but I gotta hand it to you. If you'd been born after those feminists, you would have been the real gangster.
I don't think she was saying that literally, though. I don't think she was actually gonna smother them if they had to go to Nevada. But then, does he blame her for everything? Isn't that interesting, that being the way he was? And one quote of his mom, like, just sticks to him?
Let's get to it.
Is he gonna blame Carb next too, right?
The APA standard is for the subject to manifest 6 out of 9 possible symptoms of ADD. Anthony manifested 5.
5, really?
Fidgets with hands or feet.
He fidgets with hands or feet.
That's right.
You mean like he fidgets?
Uh-huh.
And that's a sickness, to fidget.
Mr. Soprano, it's one of 9 possible symptoms.
He's really gonna zoom in on this. You fidget, I fidget.
Anthony is a borderline case.
Hold it, he's not a case, he's a 13-year-old boy. That's the trouble with you people. Every time you see a problem, you turn it into a disease.
I think he's right. And I don't think we should have to pay for this testing either.
Look at her standing behind him. I think it's also tough to hear these things as a parent because you want your kid to have the easiest road ahead.
I'm depressed.
You're not depressed. You're sad and you're angry because you did something stupid and you got grounded. And you can't watch TV, you're playing your fucking computer for 2.5 weeks.
Is he fidgeting right now?
It isn't fair.
Got that right.
Damn. But having deep conversations, I think, is hard.
Can I have one too?
This one's yours.
Aww.
Doesn't need sprinkles.
Okay.
You want nuts?
Yeah. M&M's?
Is this his way to connect? Yeah, being grounded is horrible. Ah. Oh. You know what? I kind of want to see a video where an actual psychologist or psychiatrist analyzes this because I'm just taking it all in and I don't even know what to say because there's so much going on. And yeah, I don't know much about how one dynamic influences another, but it's so interesting to see everything that just played out. His dad was a baddie. He thinks his son is going to be a baddie because he also turned into a baddie and blames his dad. But then he got one quote from his mom and is completely like, well, Dad wasn't going to be like this anymore if you would have let him go and if only you were supportive. And it's suddenly all on her. She couldn't have known if it was going to play out different. But yeah, maybe she's partly to blame. Dad is also to blame. What about him and Carm? At least they're on the same wavelength, I feel like. That's important. But yeah, how you navigate this, I don't know. In the long run, having a diagnosis or knowing more about your child can help you. But I can imagine the moment they tell you this thing, you're just like, no, denial. It's because of his age. You can totally see that. So I'm very interested to see this play out. And in the end, it's just like, oh, damn it, Tony, he's grounded. You should be firm. But I also am glad to see them connect, right? Because he felt as a kid that his sister was a golden child, that it turned out why that was. Yeah, we've also have him have really nice moments with his daughter. And it's nice to see him have those moments with his boy as well. To be continued, you know, I just can't wait. I hope you enjoyed today's reaction. If you did, make sure to like, subscribe. Full reactions and edited reactions are available on Patreon 2 weeks ahead of YouTube. I also put on some polls there, some exclusives, so make sure to check that out. I wish you a lovely rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye!